No changes for the Silver Ferns, though, as we get set to start this third quarter. Australia 26, New Zealand 21.
Contact and offside, look attack.
Yeah, great feed into Bassett, sorry, at the back.
Oh, almost there for Berger. Gee, she's got some elevation. But a completely different style now with Phillip going into that shooting circle.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more movement right there. That's Phillip's strength. She's got really great court craft. She'll spin around that circle.
And I do think that that is a really smart move, mainly for the fact that they had too many balls out of court in that quarter. And Ashley Brazel comes up with the intercept. She's had a phenomenal first half in comparison to her first test, but unfortunately they turn it over there again. What a defensive game this is.
I think both attacking ends will feel this at the end as Folau gets New Zealand's first of the third quarter.
I definitely think that all players will sleep very well tonight.
Hadley just took a little bit of a tumble earlier and was shaking out the hand a little bit, but seems okay as she slides across the top of that circle. Watson and Phillip come together, and it's against Berger as well. Contact.
You can tell the great defensive work that Berger and Watson are both doing at the moment. The fact that the Aussies just don't want to put the ball in. They're second-guessing it every time.
Canasio.
We heard from Saunders during the break, Nolene Taroa, she doesn't want them going laterally. She wants them penetrating forward.
At the moment, they're going backwards, and it's been stolen away by Phillip and then knocked by Aurori. So Australia just a bit more urgent to some of these loose balls as well.
Wing defence, contact.
Tegan doing a great amount of work outside the circle there, and it's so important for the goal attack to be able to do that. It just helps take that workload off Paige and also Liz Watson to help open up the court.
And that's Phillip's first shot. She'll be confident she's got one under her belt.
She's another player like Ash Brazel, isn't she? That's had to really bide her time to get back into the Australian team. An error there, coming in from out of court. A bit of a let-off for New Zealand.
Right on the edge, please. Contact, goal attack.
Another error by New Zealand, throwing away some ball.
Well, again, you could see from that view there was not many options on for the defender.
Yes, goal defence. Obstruction, wing attack.
It's not always the intercepts that you see, which is the great defensive work. Sometimes it's the stats that don't actually get stats. So being able to keep that ball away from your play, which forces that long ball out of court, just like it is again.
And that was the pressure from Langman there. She didn't get the ball, but she forced the turnover.
There you are.
So, the Silver Ferns with another turnover and almost going to lose control there too.
Well, we know what these umpires are like with their held balls. We better get rid of it quick.
Just have a look at the amount of work that Bruce is doing here on Folau. Just as I say that, she gets that ball at the top of the circle, but really making life hard for the feeder, moving around the body. Great jump there from Folau that goes into Mecanazio.
Well, New Zealand needed that one. It's still a big lead to eat into. And Australia have given themselves.
It'll be interesting to see at what point Nolene Taroa makes some changes off the bench. You can see Bailey Mears, she's gone up to have a wee run around, as has Whitney Souness. We've heard a lot about her saying she wants this team to evolve, she wants a new era in netball, she needs to get these players out on the court, see what they can do.
Rory and Langman, they are having to keep this very short. Oh, brilliantly read. Courtney Bruce has been outstanding. New Zealand keeping it so short and sharp, and yet she's still found a way, and then a free passage for Phillip. And New Zealand are going to make a change after this goal by the look.
As a defender, you want more passes in between. It doesn't matter whether they're long or they're short. The more passes before that ball comes into the goal circle, the easier it is for the defenders to read. So as the Aussies, they don't want to play the ball around too much here, and that was a great hold there from Caitlin Bassett.
Australia by 8, and that will bring the change. A test match return two for Whitney Souness. Her fifth cap. Sorry, I only cut your lunch, didn't I?
I was just going to say the same thing.
Oh, she's another player who's had to wait a wee while for a return. Probably hasn't come into a cauldron quite like this for some time. Oh, big miss from Falau.
Diamonds need to get it moving down the court. You don't want to allow the New Zealanders to set up their zone. It is one of the hardest defensive zones to be able to break through.
Brazel. Langman going back and getting up and winning ball back.
Yeah, Brazel just hesitated too long.
Right back at you, says Courtney Bruce.
Those passes need to be flat and hard down this attack end for the Ferns. Bruce and Clow are going for every high ball.
And there's the one for Clow. Not enough on that for Langman, and brilliantly taken away once more. The Australian defence all over the Ferns at the moment.
And that's the benefit of having Sarah Clow in there at goal defence. You have two goalkeepers in that goal circle to be able to read that floating pass over the top.
Yep, some serious height too, haven't you?
Australia now with the centre pass and eyes on a 10-goal lead. Phillip. But not to be just yet.
You hear the crowd urging Ikanasio to look into Falau. He sinks it.
It was just the third goal of the quarter for New Zealand.
Let's hope Whitney Souness can add some razzle-dazzle down here on attack. She's got great speed, she's got great agility.
And she's got the connection with Ikanasio too from playing at the central post, but not with that pass as Clow maybe got the, rather it was Bruce, wasn't it, again?
Bruce over the top, just reading that ball beautifully.
They're looking sharp, aren't they, on attack?
This is where the Diamonds really need to push on. They had a really great third quarter in that first test, but they allowed the Silver Ferns to come back into the mix. And it's just about giving balls like that. Laura Langman keeping her team in the game.
Unlucky.
Oh, she's furious.
Whole time. Centre. It's obstruction on that centre pass.
Laura says, you can't put me out of play.
And she'd been called for obstruction by one umpire and stepping by another. Phillip again, yeah.
Nice, Megan. And that's what a moving shooter brings. She's got that agility round the top of the circle edge just to open up the space.
There's a 10-goal lead now for Australia, 34-24. 7.5 to play in the third quarter, and no opening again for Langman to find her shooters.
Yep, such is the intensity and the pressure of both Bruce and Clow that Langman was on the circle edge. No one was in the circle to feed to.
Souness has won it back for New Zealand. And they'll play on quickly. The crowd in Auckland trying to roar the Ferns on a bit here.
And this Auckland crowd is one of the most intimidating crowds that you can ever play against. I know it was one of my favourite stadiums just because it was. I loved being booed by a whole stadium. It was just so much fun. Great take there again from Bassett. I feel like she's really stepped up in this second half. A few too many balls went astray for my liking in that first half, but really stood up there and working well with her new combination, or new and old, with Tegan Phillip.
Souness with her speed and footwork to get through that gap.
Great timing from Falau, popping just at the last second.
Oh, the shot's not going down though too. Falau only had the one miss. Another turnover.
Oh boy, we're up to 20 turnovers apiece for both sides.
Could almost get this game confused with tennis. It's going back and forth that much, but just this pressure is phenomenal. These girls are working so hard out there at the moment that the Ferns just need to keep that ball moving quickly. Don't allow the Diamonds to get into position. They're cutting off that front really well. The speed of Souness has really made a huge difference coming in this third quarter.
Both Australian defenders had a crack at Falau there. Doesn't want to shoot it though. Souness on the edge.
Contact center, first pass.
Oh, look at the...
Ball defense,
So much for a non-contact sport. Oh, I love it.
Now nowhere to go. Eventually find some space.
Yes, you've got to make the ball do the work.
Goalkeeper. Come around. Yes. Yes.
Folau and Echinaccio just being pushed together a bit more today. It's really hard to defend them when they split apart. They need to split those defenders apart to make it a little bit easier for themselves in there in the circle.
You can see there in the background, Bailey Mears standing up. She's got the goal attack bib. Goal shoot bib, I should say.
I think she's got the goal attack one in her hand as well, is she? Something else.
Folau might go to goal attack.
Oh, touch from Berger, and then she has the speed to pick up the loose ball.
Can't stand still in that circle with Berger running out there.
Folau not wanting to shoot it.
It allows Bruce another chance to try and get over the top, and she does convert the turnover.
Look at that, power from Berger.
So here is the change for New Zealand. Maria Folau will go to goal attack. Bailey Mears on at goal shoot, and Amelia Echinaccio leaves the court.
And here we see Jamie Lee Price on for Ashley Brazel at wing defence.
Sooners, or just gets the loose ball. Gee, Price with a good touch first up.
A really smart move from both teams there as Folau sinks another one. Ash Brazel just run ragged there, so bringing on the fresh legs of Sooners, I think that was really smart to bring on Jamie Lee Price, and we'll see what Mez can do as well.
Thrown away by Australia. New Zealand starting to claw their way back into it. 3 goals straight for the Silver Ferns.
And we've seen time and time again, no margin is big enough for these two countries. And we nearly got to play with the ball ourselves then, ladies.
Just about have players in our lap. Oh, good ball.
Well, Folau stepping up, isn't she? 21 from 25. She's the big-time player down this attack end.
Sooners powering off that transverse line. That's a great matchup, Sooners and Price would have played against each other at secondary school level here in New Zealand.
Yeah, and of course, Mez, she brings that athleticism in the circle.
Oh, Bruce again. She's been an utter menace.
Oh.
And the Aussies fighting over it themselves. No, it's mine! Unfortunately for them, it's back to Maria Folau. Sometimes it's better just to let them fight it out themselves. I really feel like the intensity of the Silver Ferns has stepped up in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, they've had the last 5 goals, the Silver Ferns.
Diamonds really needing to do something here. They can't just stand. This is where they got in trouble in the first test. New Zealand love running through for that intercept. If they just leave it hanging, they will have a fly, and there it goes again, straight out of court.
They're starting to rush a bit, aren't they, the Diamonds? They need to go back to those basics, the short, sharp movements that were working for them in that third quarter.
Really playing into the Silver Ferns' hands. This is what they want of them. They need to get the game back on their terms.
3 or 4 passes have just been thrown away by Australia, and it's allowed New Zealand to come right back into this third quarter. Sooners will just take some time, and that's an easier ball in. 6 in a row for New Zealand.
Here come the Ferns.
Langman is going to go deep in to catch up with that ball.
I like those ones. Langman getting that long second phase ball.
Folau might lift the roof off here. Mears keeps it in play, but it's there for Clow.
She was going for the goal, wasn't she?
A chance for Australia just to stop the rot here and regain it, a bit of their equilibrium, some of their momentum back, and get a bit of fortune too, Clow.
They need to keep those drives coming, work the ball around, stop.
Jane Watson, what pressure. She thought it was hers.
Bit of a 50-50 one there, but Australia just to break that run that the New Zealanders had.
Oh, much needed goal for Australia as we go into the final minute of the third quarter. Cutting off the option, but then the good ball in, finding Bassett again. Oh, it's been a good injection from Souness to change it up for New Zealand.
Price has to do her work to be able to keep Souness off the goal edge here. As soon as it's on, it just makes it so much easier for those Ferns attackers. Mez has brought so much movement into that circle, which makes it harder for the defenders.
This is Mez's first goal.
And she nails it.
Phillip looking for Bassett, can't find her, almost held ball. They go big and long and high.
That's two from Jamie Lee Price that she's thrown away.
Wow, what a third quarter. Low scoring it may be, but it's had everything, and it's still an Australian lead. The Diamonds 37, the Ferns 32, 15 minutes to play. Australia